This week, Fox News host Neil Cavuto got to sit down and do an interview with Republican presidential candidate, former South Carolina governor, former UN ambassador Nikki Haley. And Neil Cavuto was very straight with Nikki Haley and asked her straight up, listen, Donald Trump's got his hardcore base, and that base is only going to vote for Donald Trump. So what do you do? How do you even appeal to those people? What can you do? And Nikki Haley thought for just a quick moment, and she offered one of the weirdest answers that I think I have ever heard. Because she tried to act like I still love Donald Trump, but in order to show how much she loves Donald Trump, she ended up attacking her own marriage. So here's what Nikki Haley said in response to Neil Cavuto's question. Neil, his voters and supporters and the American people want the truth. I just speak hard truths. You've got some people who are mad that I don't love Trump 100% of the time. I don't love my husband 100% of the time. You've got some people who are upset that I don't disagree with him 100% of the time. I think he was the right president at the right time. I call it like I see it. And so look, I think he was the right president at the right time. I just think we need to move forward. Our country can't keep dealing with this chaos and this negativity. We've got to go forward. Now, I don't disagree with you that we can't keep dealing with the negativity, the division, and we do need to move forward, but that's about where our agreements end, Nikki. But I do have to, I got to hit back on what you said here. They're mad I don't agree with Trump 100% of the time. I don't even love my husband 100% of the time. You don't love your husband 100% of the time. Now, I have heard people say, and comedians, make jokes about, you always love your spouse or you always love your kids, but you don't always have to like them. But you always love them, right? There's a difference between loving somebody and liking somebody. But Nikki Haley didn't say she doesn't always like her husband. She says she doesn't always love him. Doesn't always love him. Now, why that word? Why say I don't always love him? Because that indicates, that's a strong indicator to me that you shouldn't be married to this person. If you don't love them 100% of the time, then you're not actually in love with them. And therefore you shouldn't be married. You should end it. And so both of you can, find somebody that actually makes you happy. But if you're saying you love him all the time, but you don't like him, why didn't you say you don't like him? Or why didn't you say you don't agree with your husband 100% of the time? Right? There's multiple different ways you could have said it, and you literally picked the worst possible one and ended up attacking your own husband, your own marriage, just to make it seem like you weren't anti-Trump. That's what's so funny here. We watch these candidates like Nikki Haley twist themselves into knots to defend Donald Trump. And in the process, she's attacking her own personal life. Hey, you think my love for Trump is bad? Just what do you see my own marriage? Ooh, that's a bunch of crap. Holy crap, Nikki. Now, Cavuto did go on to ask her, are you going to vote for the eventual nominee? And she said yes. She said, I will support the Republican that comes out of that. Certainly, I want it to be me. But I'm going to support the Republican because I don't believe that America can afford President Kamala Harris. And we all need to remember that the guys on the stage need to understand this is not about being personal. It's not about being petty. They've got to get over it. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that President Kamala Harris is never president of the United States. Echoing a theme that Nikki Haley has been hitting on for several months now, and that is, of course, her belief that Joe Biden is going to die before the end of his second term, and Kamala Harris will become the first woman to ever serve as president of the United States. Nikki Haley is campaigning against Kamala Harris, not President Biden. And based on her continued loss of support in the Republican polling, doesn't seem to be a winning strategy, but by God, she's in too deep to change it now. So Nikki, if I might offer you a word of advice, maybe start paying attention to the polls, because at one point you were at almost 10% when you announced you were running for president, but you have now fallen down into Chris Christie levels of obscurity, because even though you're getting media attention, kind of have a Ron DeSantis situation going, because the more people see you, the less people like you. Thanks for watching, everyone, and well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.